Haters is by Jessie Andrews. Welcome back to the Manic Pixie Dream Show. Woo! Okay, today we're doing a book review. Since I last did a book review, I read 2 whole books. Can you guys believe it? But Hello Princess. I bought this book because I liked the cover. And it didn't look like a romance just off the bat, but it did look like an interesting story about friendship, which is exactly what it turned out to be. Okay, Princess. All right then. Really quickly, The Haters, let's just read the back. Catastrophic, hilarious, romantically tangled road trip from Jessie Andrews, best-selling author of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. You can feel free to hate on it, but you can also love it too, because maybe those are the same kind of thing. Maybe those are kind of the same thing. I'm sorry, guys. Dyslexia, OCD, okay? I'm a little ashy. They go to jazz camp, they don't like it, they run away, and they try to make music together. They try to go on tour as a band. And there's a lot of mishaps and a lot of crazy turns that you're not expecting the book to take, and it does. I will give a little spoiler. The added benefit that Ash's character is like a rich heiress is kind of like what allows them to do what they have to do. But it adds such a cool Deus Ex Machina that allows them to like just move forward in the story without any hiccups. Like, I enjoy the Deus Ex Machina of it all. Okay? My name is Elise the Destroyer. And enjoy me reading this book. I'm close to the end of my book, running out of space on my phone. There's like 15 pages left. I love this book. This is my favorite book. I love this book. Boyish humor, the immaturity, but also the handling of pretty adult topics with a lot of sincerity. It was just a lot of genuine, heartfelt moments between characters in this book. Not like too much emotional shit, just like that sweet in-between spot of something bad is probably gonna happen, but just enjoy the ride and just see how it turns out. And that's exactly what this book gave, and that's how I felt the entire time reading it. I was just on for the ride. I was getting to know these characters, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Okay, now we're in my office. I don't want to just give away 5 stars willy-nilly. Was there things that I felt dissatisfied by? Yes and no. I felt like the dissatisfaction that I felt at the end of this book was incredibly purposeful. A very ambivalent ending. Okay, I really appreciated the way that he let the characters' lives not be, overtaken by, some bizarre climactic ending. I'm really glad that he just let it breathe and let things be. There's little red herrings here and there, but the way that he followed through with them, tasty and yummy. There was things that were alluded to at the beginning that he did such a good job of reiterating in different ways. It like all of the themes that he had introduced were beautifully tied into the end of the book. I'm a sucker for happy endings, and I'm not saying it didn't have a happy ending. It just had an ambivalent ending, and I love an ambivalent ending. But it's not like there's a sequel, you guys. It's a standalone. And I love it. I love this book, and I will tell you guys about my fan cast now. My fan cast for this book: Cameron Boyce, R.I.P. I had Cameron Boyce as his friend Corey in this book. So beautifully casted, and I think that's the beauty of like reading books and casting characters. It's like even the people who pass away can kind of live on in these stories just because you want them to. It's almost like the brain is the computer, and it can really really do what it has to do with the imagination. And my imagination kind of went hard in the paint for Cameron Boyce for this book. That would be my dream casting, but he's passed away, R.I.P. And so, you know, I never want the book to turn into a movie because without him, what's the point? For Wes, though, I had casted that one TikToker who makes the girls' dresses, who sews the girls' dresses. I had him in my head. I don't even know his name, but it was so easy to picture his face as Wes in this book. Him, two cute boys being best friends is always funner to read than like two average-looking boys. Of course, they describe themselves as average-looking and scrawny, but it's my reading experience. So I casted two big cuties. Wes is adopted. He was Hispanic, and he was adopted by white parents who are vegans and Buddhist. And Cameron's character is a white kid, but you know, Cameron Boyce is light skinned, so I was just like, whatever. I didn't care. You know, I just cast black people anyway. What's funny is I bought these books like a year apart, didn't read either of them until this year. And the crazy thing about this book, it also features a black girl with bleached hair. What are the odds? I don't know if she was a black girl, but she had dark skin, okay? And anytime I see dark skin, I go black. But when we got to a certain scene in the book, they meet this black couple, this older black couple, and they kind of go out of their way to say that she's not black because they're like, I can't believe you allowed like these 3 non-black kids into our house. But in my head, I was like, it's still canon that she's black. She just must be mixed with something. I just read her as black. I would tell you guys some of my favorite quotes. Driving back to Lime Tree, it felt like the part of waking up from a dream where you're pretending you don't know yet that it was a dream, even though you do. Like you know you're not really flying, but you're pretending you don't know, just to have a few more minutes of it. And you're pretending the world around you is that same beautiful, insane, shifting dream place you would never get tired or bored of. And you still have that stupid, perfect dream understanding of yourself and everyone and everything. And you still have that feeling of you'll never feel confused or disappointed again. Just like, hit me so hard when I first read that. I put a little smiley face next to it. Beautiful. My next favorite, I had collected little melodies in my head from passing through all the zones of music in the rest of the house. They were all overlaid in my head, echo space, like kids talking in the halls between class. Beautiful. He's a beautiful writer, you guys. Like, don't fuck with Jessie Andrews, okay? Don't speak too much on my man. That's my man. Jessie, hopefully you're not married and your partner doesn't feel offended because we're dating. We're together now. I feel like I have one more fave quote. Hold on, I think I just saw it. Oni did the slowest blink I have ever seen and smiled. Do me a kindness, he said. Cherish this part, before the triumph and the failure. Now when you're too young to win or lose, before you know what winning or losing would even mean. Try to be here, now, and cherish it all right? I put a little crying face next to that one. Love this book. Time for catharsis. Final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts. This is a great book if you are into boyish humor, and by boyish humor, I mean penis jokes. I mean, coming of age, understanding who you are. Wes and Corey's dynamic is they are haters. That's why it's called The Haters. But they are literally haters of music. Like, they love music. They're jazz musicians. And they kind of had this deep conversation toward the end of the book about, like, how did we end up being this way? And it's really beautiful. It kind of reminded me of me and my best friend Melody's relationship with music. Like, we love music, but if we find something to talk shit about, we will. And sometimes it's unhealthy when you are a music lover and you just want to appreciate what is out there. You want to appreciate your own art for what it is. It's easier to, the catharsis that I felt is that it's easier to not judge and appreciate the art that you make. But when you do judge other people's art, it's so much harder to appreciate what you put out into the world. It's so much harder to have confidence in yourself because you know the mindset of a hater. So, of course, you're going to think like a hater when you have your own things that you've created. And you need to stop thinking like a hater. And you need to start believing in yourself and start seeing the beauty in others and what they're able to do, even if there are flaws. That is the catharsis that I felt, and I loved it. It was really well done, really cute. 4.5 stars. Thank you, Jessie Andrews.